The following is a presentation of TFNN. Trade what you see with Larry Pesavento. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. Now, Larry Pesavento.
Looking good, Billy Ray, feeling good, Lewis, from the offices of Duke & Duke, 100 South Broad Street, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, zip code 91714. Let's take a look here at the German DAX, making a big ABCD pattern, and also the FTSE making multiple ABCD patterns. But boys and girls, it's different this time. It's always going to be different, except for one thing, and I want to talk to you about a little story that happened about 2 years ago when we were over in London giving a seminar. I want to bring this up. This was the chart of crude oil on the weekly. You'll see September 13th, 2018. We gave a seminar the 13th, 14th, and 15th. And by the way, David Paul, who was on that seminar with me, will be our guest tomorrow. Norm Winsky today. But getting back to September the 13th, that was the weekend, Saturday night. I believe it was Iranian drones hit the Saudi Arabia fields with I guess they were power rockets or whatever they were, and the price of crude oil opened up on Sunday night, and we were ready for live trading. It opened up Sunday night $9. And the reason why that's important is, folks, that was making a perfect ABCD pattern. Now, what you don't see here is that the pattern that it made had already just hit. And so what we were doing was making a retracement pattern of that pattern. And what happened was it opened $9 higher at exactly the 78% level. We had one gentleman from London who was a very large trader, a hedge trader for a hedge fund, and that his specialty was oil. He was short oil. He didn't know what to do. He asked me, and I said, I'll give you my best guess. And I said, the 78% retracement on this is 69.33. I said, the old high is 70.33. I said, all you got to do, I believe it was 76.83 at the time. And I said, all you have to do is put your stop above there by $0.50, and you might do it. And well, the market opened there. It then broke $6 a barrel, okay? And then it rallied back and touched the same high again, the intraday high at the 786, and then proceeded to break all the way down to $42. So the reason why I'm telling you this, folks, is we had a big thing happen here last night here in the this over the weekend. We were taken over by hackers, the old hacker folks, that do the hacking. And they hacked the East Coast as far as the pipeline. And they were talking about crude oil being $4 to $5 higher was the first indications coming out of Houston and Louisiana. And let me just show you what happened here. As you can see here, all we did was open at the 61% retracement of the high we made on May 5th. I sent this out before it happened, folks, because I said, pay attention to this. I said, because this is going to be real interesting because crude oil is in a downtrend. And I said, it's different than the one in September the 13th. That was in a big uptrend. This was in a downtrend. And you had very, very bullish news. And all crude oil could rally was just about $1 a barrel. In fact, it was exactly $1 a barrel. And then, bang, it went down and went all the way back down to the $64 level. It dropped almost $1.50 from that level. So the reason why I'm bringing that to your attention is it's the news that's related to this. You have to if the market does not react really good to news, then you're going to be able to be really careful. Now, the reason why this is important is what happened Friday in the New York Stock Exchange and also the Dow Jones Industrial Average. Not so much the NASDAQ, not so much the Russell, but in the S&P, the market had some of the worst news that they've ever had in the market as far as jobs report. They were looking for 1 million on the low side to 1.5 million on the high side. It came out at 260-some thousand. In fact, on CNBC, Joe Kernan was so flabbergasted he thought it was a bad quote. And what did the market do? It dropped 10 points and then proceeded to rally 35 handles. There was bad news, just shoving it right down the market's throat, and that's pretty much what happened, folks. So I don't know where this thing is going to go, but I'm going to give you my 2 cents worth, and that's all I can do. And if you pay for more for it, then you're overpaying. But a few months ago, I brought some charts up that I wanted to bring to your attention. Now, remember, when you're looking at these, these are now 5 weeks old, folks. They're still going up from there. This is the chart on valuation extremes. You can see where we were in the dot-com bubble. We were there. Look where we are right now. I mean, we're substantially higher in that one. I'm just going to go through these just because it's different this time and the market's going to go up forever. And I just wanted to be sure that everybody's in stocks because you got to buy something. That's what they tell us. So that's what I'm doing. You'll take a look here. You'll see here we're higher than we were. I mean, just look at this. This is incredible amount. This is the Buffett indicator. We've not been this high before. And this one's 5 weeks old, folks. Shut the front door and raise the rent. Now, here's one that really doesn't count, I guess, anymore. And that is our old buddy margin debt. So let's get this up here and take a look at it. Here again, this one is 5 weeks old. So you can imagine where we are now with this. So the market is a tad overbought, as they say in the trade. And when you see the markets reacting with that much movement, you're going to be able to see what's happening. Now, here was Goldman Sachs. I brought this up at the same time because we're not very far from that 4,300 handle. We'll get this up here, and you'll take a look at it right here. They were looking for year end of 2020 to the S&P to be at 4,300, and we hit 4,239 or 38.5 or something last night, and that's not very far away. 2 or 3 more days, we'll be there 6 months early. But remember, folks, that we're coming into May, and May is a month that is one of the higher areas, sell in May, go away. That is a very strong statistic that moves in that direction. Getting back to Goldman Sachs. Now, here is the Goldman Sachs because I focused on this last week, if you'll remember, when we made that ABCD pattern up there at that 357 level. And I said I would be a seller, and I said I don't trade stocks at all, period. But I said there would be a seller at that double top at Gartley at 357 with a buy stop at 362. The market opened at 362 or 360 and then went all the way up to 364 that day. So that would have been a losing trade. And then today it gapped up again, and it went up to the 1.618 expansion of the move from March down to April. So whether that means anything, this is a butterfly pattern and a 1.618. But again, these things don't count with the fundamentals the way they are. Copper going to levels we've never seen it's been a long time since we've seen $5 copper. Well, that won't be till tomorrow. But there are a lot of things that are telling you that you have to be very careful, folks. I know you're probably thinking I'm full of baloney, and you're probably right. But anyway, the only other time I've been this, melancholy was on May the 5th and May the 9th. Let's try that. March the 5th and March the 9th of 2009. I was so bullish, I just couldn't be held back. And everybody thought I was living on the wrong side of the tracks, which I was born on the wrong side of the tracks. But I'm just a pattern, folks. And when I see the patterns and I see all this other stuff, I just want to alert you to the fact that these things can turn around. And the problem is you've got all these people with Reddit and all, the SPACs and all these other things, all the new stuff that's going on. They're not ready for anything bad to happen. And believe me, something is coming, and it ain't going to be good, boys and girls. 877-927-6648.
Markets can rise and fall like the tides. Subscribe to Basil Chapman's newsletter, The Opening Call, and you too can ride the wave. Basil Chapman is an authority in technical analysis. His Chapman Wave trading system has been helping traders identify trends and capitalize on momentum in the markets since 1984. TFNN invites you to test Basil's proprietary Chapman Wave trading methodology with a monthly subscription to the Opening Call newsletter for only $149. Your subscription to the Opening Call comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee, as well as daily market updates on key indexes, stocks, and commodities. Ride the wave. Sign up for the Opening Call risk-free today.
If you're not currently using the TAS Profile Scanner when looking at setting up your trading opportunities, then your arsenal is short a mighty weapon. The TAS Profile Scanner is a standalone piece of software that instantly filters over 2,500 global financial markets such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Headed by Steve Dahl, TAS understands that in today's technological world, the use of top-flight software applications and technical analysis expertise is essential to successful trading in today's market. You also gain access to the webinar that Steve Dahl and Tom O'Brien just hosted, The Best Way to Use the TAS Profile Scanner to Profit. This webinar archive is available for all subscribers immediately upon signing up. All new subscriptions also come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Start your subscription by visiting the front page of TFNN.com today, and you'll find the TAS Profile Scanner under the Services tab. Sign up today.
Hey there, I'm Andy Arbertine with Tiger Precious Metals and Stones. Whether you're looking to buy and sell precious metals or trying to find the perfect diamond ring, I'm here to help. I have over 15 years of experience with diamonds and precious metals. You can call me directly at 727-329-8245, and I will personally answer any questions you have and help you find exactly what you're looking for. I will be your personal concierge in the metal and stone business. Give me a call today, 727-329-8245.
Many of our new listeners have heard about The Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive The Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on The Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Okay, folks, someone asked me if I'm calling for a top today. Hey, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying be careful, boys and girls. I love everybody out there. I don't want to see anybody lose. So just be careful if you're long. Hey, be even more careful if you're short. So that's the main thing to remind yourself is always know what your risk is. But don't be too overly extended here in the stock market because there's a rule that's been going along since about 1635 to 1735. Isaac Newton, what goes up must come down. The old apple in the tree, the old gravity. Whether that's going to happen or not, I don't know. Now, I did post a chart of the NASDAQ, and you can see it's been turning down for quite some time. But let's take a look at, go back into history and just take a look at a stock that was around, and it was the leader of the pack, folks. Let me get this up here. This is Credit Suisse. And what you don't see here is this thing is 1920. We are way down at the bottom again, folks. They got hit with that hedge fund Archipelagos or whatever it was, had a problem. But you can see we had a triple top up in there. So, you know, what goes up must come down. So remember, we're seeing straight up moves in these things. And believe me, boys and girls, do not underestimate the power of that gap up and that big move that happened Friday, because that is very, very important. It shattered the 1.618 expansion of the thing that was the most important to me of anything that we looked at, and that was the New York Stock Exchange Index. We went through that like it didn't even exist. The fact is, I want to bring this up here and show you this was how surprised I was, because we actually went through it quite a bit. We looked like the super full moon was going to hold it for a little bit. It did for about 3 days, but with that breaking that, and also the Dow Jones breaking. Now, we didn't do that in the NASDAQ, and we didn't do it in the S&P, and we didn't do it in the Russell, but we did do it in New York Stock Exchange Index. So I think it's important to remember that that's an important number to look at. Now, the Dow Jones, remember, is a price-weighted index. There's only 30 stocks in it, and the big ones, well, I believe Berkshire Hathaway is the biggest, and then we have the next one, I believe, is Goldman Sachs and Visa, and some of the others are very expensive. So when they move that index quite a bit, and that's part of the reasons why you're seeing a jump today in that index is because of the big gap up in Goldman Sachs. It's given some of it back, but not too much. Now let's take a look at a couple other things. This is the Dow Jones Industrial Average. I want to run this by you here just a little bit here. This is going back to the 1920s. I want you to see the run-up that we had into the 1930s. You see that vertical move up into September the 3rd of 1930? Folks, we're running like that right now. We're having a vertical move like that in the Dow Jones and some of the others, too. That you've seen them before. I mean, you know what they look like. But how much higher they can go, I don't know. Just be really careful. Now, if you're a technician, you're going to see some signs that, the market is going to be maybe having a correction. I don't know. But if you watch for the market to have really, really good news and not good response to it. We had bad news and a great response on Friday. And if you're bullish, that is the most ideal thing that you could possibly look at. I mean, I think we were on the show when we were looking at that and talking about it, the fact that once shut the front door. What's this? That's just a sales call. Sorry, boys and girls. I forgot to take the phone off the hook. It'll be off in just a second here. I use a landline for some stuff, and no, not today, Bill, not today. I'm not involved. Actually, the only thing that I have that is doing pretty good has been the NASDAQ. I thought the NASDAQ, because we couldn't rally any higher than the 61% retracement again on Friday, and the Dow is up 200, and NASDAQ has already dropped 100 from the 61% retracement. It just kept falling till it got down to about 220. So that's all I'm doing is I'm watching how the market reacts to some of those. Someone had a song request. Probably the Beach Boys and Little Deuce Coupe or something like that. Anyway, let's take a minute here and take a look at the gold market, because I think we have Norm Winsky coming up at the break here. He's always got some really interesting things, and we'll put his feet to the fire. And here is the gold chart. I want to bring it up here. This is a chart from our good friends over across the pond, or across the desert over there in the Valley of the Sun. You'll notice that the big breakout, you see the first square there, that's a big breakout to the upside. Now, the one you're looking on to the right is not the same thing. That is a market retracing. And that retracement that we're looking at, the 61% retracement, that comes in at 1851. We got to about 1846, I believe, today. We're trading around 1840 right now. So I'm watching that number very, very closely. Now, if you watch it really closely and you look at the rally we had from December into January, and you counted the number of days between April and where we are right now, that day is today. So we made a new high in gold, and we made a new high in silver above this, right above the 61% retracement, and now it's trading below it almost most of the morning. So that's not a sign of really strong power, in my opinion. But heck, I'm wrong a lot. Anyway, that's a few things that I think are important to pay attention to. The main thing is to watch how the market reacts to the news, folks. That's what it's all about. You've got to, in my opinion, again, folks, I've got well over 2,000 books here that I've read, and they're all of them all related to the same thing. Buy low, sell high, but all of them have pretty much the same thing, and that is to keep your risk as small as you possibly can. Don't believe what you're hearing in the news, because that's been the case forever in stocks. You always hear the news is the most bullish at the top and most bearish at the bottom. That's it. Perfect example of that. The number one stock held in the country, the world, is Apple. And look at Apple. It went down. It went below 128 today, folks. That was a 78% level. But look at the big rally we had just the other day on Friday. We could only make a 382 retracement. Now, eventually, the Apple's going to pick up, and it might be today, and that might be the thing that makes the market go to 35,900 or 36 or even 40,000. I don't know, but all I'm doing is watching what these things are doing at the present time, and they're telling me that you got to be a little cautious up in this area, because we are extremely overbought on all of these things. And remember, the charts that I posted, folks, were 5 weeks old. In other words, they've gone higher in margin debt, higher in evaluations, higher in absolutely every one of those. They're in the stratosphere. And so you've got to be a little bit careful in here. So I'm giving you what I think is correct. Not only that, but you're coming into the strongest seasonal the stock market has, and that is the sell in May and go away. That's actually a fabulous trading system. Just don't buy any stocks until November is basically what that's telling you. So we'll keep that in mind. We've got Norm Winsky coming up at the break. Remember, tomorrow we have Dr. David Paul. He hasn't been with us for a while, so he's going to be on tomorrow, God willing, that we get all the technical stuff done. And on Wednesday, I believe we have Stan, the man Harley, of Harley Stock Market Letter. And on the 13th, we've got John Person. And on the 14th, we go see Dr. Barnett because I have my physical, and I will not be here on Friday for absolute certainty, I hope anyway. So I will take a day off. I have to go in for blood work, and it's too early in the morning and stuff. Anyway, we'll take a break. Norm Winsky coming up, boys and girls. Stay tuned.
Hi folks, this is Tom O'Brien. The printing presses are working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The U.S. deficit has risen 200% in 1 year with no end in sight. The markets are looking for an additional stimulus bill to get us through this once-in-a-generation pandemic. There is no free lunch, folks. The more stimulus dollars put into the marketplace, the less your dollar is worth each and every day. This is the time to protect yourself with a portion of your portfolio in the metal market. The Gold Report comes out each Monday morning. I bisect and dissect the dollar, silver, gold, the XAU, and the HUI. The Gold Report is a long-term hedge against the dilution of your buying power. The U.S. has put more than $6 trillion into the marketplace in the last 6 months, with more expected in the next few months. The market did and does need the stimulus, but it will have long-term implications on our buying power. The Gold Report comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Go to TFNN.com and order the Gold Report now. Protect your buying power. Order the Gold Report now.
You could be making money off the stock market. And if you're already making money off the stock market, you could be making a lot more. Check out TFNN and Tiger TV and get expert investing advice to give you the power to control your financial future. Go to TFNN.com and find the newsletter for you. Whether you're into trading gold, metals, futures, currencies, or options, you'll get advice and analysis to help you seriously get ahead. TFNN also features trading services with a 30-day money-back guarantee for new subscribers, as well as TFNN's Tiger Den trading room, trading software, and educational webinars for all trading levels. And make sure you check out Tiger TV for free on TFNN.com or TFNN's YouTube channel for live financial content from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern on market days. Stop watching on the sidelines while other people get rich and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABCs, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Hey, folks, direct from Naples, Florida, none other than Norm Winsky himself is on the line. Norman, how are you today?
Very good, Larry. Thanks for having me on your show.
It's our pleasure. Can you tell us what you're looking at and what we have to look forward to?
Okay, hopefully you have my notes on the screen.
We are set
we're
up.
going to review what I said when I was last on your show, I believe around April 23rd, I believe, ahead of the had a big window coming up over the 26th, 27th, where we had a cluster of 4 events, all within about 24 hours. We had a aspect to the U.S. natal chart. If you don't know what a natal chart is, as we take a snapshot of when something began, like when you were born or when a country was founded, and then we compare those to where the planets are now. Jupiter was making a moderate angle to where the sun was on July the 4th, 1776. So that would be a moderate U.S. change in trend for stocks, T-bonds, and U.S. dollar. And then we also had that in the night of the 26th, AC is after the close on my notes there. And we had Mercury perihelion as the planets go around the sun. They are not circles, they are elliptical fashion. Therefore, the planets have a point where they're the closest to the sun and a point where they're the farthest from the sun, and perihelion is the closest. And Mercury does this about every 88 days. And so we like Mercury associated with the grains, and the stocks respond to everything. So you have your corn. Oh, and because it's involving the sun, it's sunny golden. We also look at gold. So you had corn, gold, soybeans, stocks, and wheat. This is a shopping list. Doesn't mean anything's going to happen there. We got to have the market set up correctly, as you will see in a few moments. So then we also had a full moon at perigee. That only occurs you get maybe a couple of those every about bunched together about every 14 months. And we're in the perigee season, apogee perigee season now. And we'll be talking about that more here for, I think tomorrow, in about a day or so. They have another alignment with the moon and its apogee perigee cycle. This one was a full moon at perigee in the sign of Scorpio, and it's in addition to the usual suspects, financials, grains, precious metals. We were running a special because of Scorpio on your cocoa, hogs, and T-bonds. And then the morning of for the 27th, we had Pluto in Capricorn turning retrograde, and that's one of my top things when the planets go turn direct or retrograde. That's due to the roll of the motion of the Earth. It appears, there's your operative word, appears from the point of view of the Earth that other planets look like they stop their motion and then reverse their direction. And when they stop momentarily, that's called a station point. And when the planets change trend, the markets tend to change trend. So we'll be looking at that. Doesn't mean that it's going to happen, but it happens a high percentage of the time. Okay, here's cocoa was on our list. There's your window there for the morning of the 27th. And you can see you had a minor short-term top there, so you had a chance to make a small amount of money. We had the 2 signals there for that window. And we had coffee, had one indication there for coffee. That did not work very well. Then you would have made you probably would have lost a small amount of money. And here's your piggies. Piggies did not cooperate. They usually work pretty well, but not this time. The piggies wanted to run, and so you would have probably got stopped out the next day on that one. And here's the corn, though. The grains were the best of all these for this period of time. You had a big spike high there. Everything topped about 6:30 in the morning on the 27th. The moon was the night before, about 11 o'clock at night. And they all topped about 6 hours later. And this corn dropped about from high to low about 50 cents, $2,500. The beans were, in terms of absolute dollars, they had about an 80-cent reversal. That's about $4,000. And the wheat was about the same as the corn, roughly about a 50-cent reversal there. And so you had a chance to make some money there in your grains. If it's going sideways, I do nothing. It's Newton's law. For reaction, there's opposite equal reaction, and you can't tell what's going to happen when the market's going sideways. So we just take a path. I put a yellow bar over the time window there to indicate we're not playing. Here's your silver. Did rally a little bit into our window, so you had a chance to go short there and make a little bit of money. Here's the S&P was going pretty sideways. So I think we have 3 or 4 different indications there for that window, but it was sleeping. So there we go. We didn't do anything there. Same thing for the T-bonds. It was kind of going sideways, so not as strong. The bigger what we're looking for is when the markets get to want the markets to get to an extreme in these time windows. And the bigger the extreme, the better. The greens are a pretty good example. The beans went parabolic there for a few days, and then you had a good chance to make some money. The dollar kind of was tricky. I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt that somebody following my system might have gone long here, given the previous few days the dollar was coming down, and it pops up on our day. And so that would have been a loser. That's a miss. But the Aussie dollar, here's a nice example. Here's a good example of what was the kind of thing we're looking for. Aussie dollar made a nice clear rally into our window, and you could have sold it on the opening there on the 27th and made a little bit of money. There's the pound going sideways. We do nothing. There's your euro. Wait, there we go. My mouse went to sleep. Here's the euro going sideways. And so if we add up all the green arrows and the red arrows, we had 10 winners, 5 misses out of 15 for a 66.67% win rate. Here's what's coming up. Okay, I told you when the planets go direct to retrograde, one of my top things. The other thing that's sort of equivalent to that, the planets going direct to retrograde is a geocentric thing from the point of view of the Earth. Another thing that has to do sort of equivalent to that from a point of view of the sun is the planets go around the sun, and like horses on a carousel, they go round and around, and like horses on the carousel, they also go up and down. When they get to that midpoint of the up and down, that seems to be an important energy point and often causes a change, brings a change in trend in the markets. And guess what we had over the weekend here? We had Venus get to 0 north latitude. 0 is your 0 latitude. The Venus was going up, so that's north. And so we'd be looking for a change in trend today for cattle, copper, cotton, stock, sugar, wheat. Now, let me just qualify that by saying the cattle and the cotton, those are Taurus markets, and we got something coming out of here in another day or so that could those markets could hang up for another day or so because of what's coming up. I'll get to that in just a moment. Over the weekend, we also had Neptune making an aspect to the U.S. natal chart. That's your U.S. stocks, T-bonds, and U.S. dollar. So we have 2 indications for a possible change in trend in the stock market, but we do have a tricky situation here because we have staggered cycle windows, where we have one and then a couple days later we have another one. So we have something coming up here now then things get busy here tomorrow afternoon. We got the moon's north node is going to line up with Pluto. That's cocoa, coffee, hogs, silver, stocks, and T-bonds. Then also tomorrow afternoon on the 11th, we have a new moon in the sign of Taurus, the bull, going to be at apogee. Now, apogee is far, perigee is close, and like I said, these cycles only line up every 14 months. So there you go. So we round up the usual suspects, financials, grains, precious metals, and because it's in the sign of Taurus, the bull, will be also featuring cattle and cotton. So then we have over the night
Norm, we got to pay a few bills, my friend. Can you stay with us?
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll be right back with Norm Winsky, Astro Trends, Naples, Florida. 8-7.
Are you in the market for buying or selling real estate in the Bay Area, including the surrounding St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Clearwater markets? Tiger Real Estate LLC is a firm that has extensive experience in the Tampa Bay area. Whether you're looking to sell your current property for maximum value, or you're in the market for a second home or investment property, Tiger Realty has the experience across all areas of real estate in the Tampa Bay area to help buyers and sellers make the most informed decisions across all price levels. From the price you should be paying per square foot in certain up-and-coming areas to the type of cash flow investment properties are capable of creating, Tiger Real Estate can help you make the best decision when it comes to all areas of the market. Before you make one of the biggest decisions of your financial future, call Tiger Real Estate LLC LLC today at 727-329-8322 or email us at tiger@tfnn.com. That's 727-329-8322. Call us today.
The technology around us is changing every day. With so much happening, it can seem impossible to keep up with all the information. David White's investment newsletter, The Technology Insider, is designed to give you all the information you need to understand the technology that shapes today's markets and tomorrow's future. David White has made his living staying on the cutting edge of technology. His weekly newsletter will give you specific recommendations for value tech stocks, as well as entry prices, target prices, and stops to set for each trade. Dave delivers his weekly newsletters every Friday with updates throughout the week. You can get the Technology Insider at TFNN.com for only $37.50. Sign up for David's newsletter, The Technology Insider, and get an inside look at everything the technology sector has to offer. Try it risk-free today with our 30-day money-back guarantee. TFNN, educating investors.
Are China A-shares hot or not? If you trade China A-shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A-share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A-shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Okay, folks, we're back talking with Norm Winsky, Astro Trends out of Naples, Florida. Norm, we have a question from one of our listeners. Could you repeat the importance of the retrograde motion you were talking about in the first segment?
Okay. It has to do with, Einstein tells us that everything is relative. We're on the big blue marble here called the Earth. And as we look out on the solar system and other planets, if you would plot the planets nightly, and you would notice that due to relative motion, just like when you're driving on the highway and you're doing 60, you look at your speedometer and it says, Larry, you're doing 60, nice job. And then you glance out your side window, all of a sudden you have the impression you're going backwards. What's happening? Somebody passes you. So you get the impression that you're going backwards. That would be the same thing with the planets. As they pass us or we pass them, for a moment there where there's that shift between the bodies passing each other, it appears that they're stationary. And then it looks like that they've reversed their direction. That's when they stop. That's called a station point. And then they reverse it, either go forward or backwards. Forward is called direct. Backward is called retrograde. How'd I do?
I think you did good. We're going to give you an A+ on that one, Chief.
Okay.
Of course, you get A+ on everything else, too. So continue, Norm. Go ahead.
All right. Let's see. We were, down here. You might want to take a screenshot of this because this is kind of the map for the coming week, Let's see. Then we had the new moon, and then we were going to talk about the night of the 11th. We had that to the U.S. chart. And then later, the night of the 13th, we're going to have Jupiter change signs. That only occurs with some qualification. Every 11 years, we're going into Pisces. Has not happened for about 11 years. Now, because it's geocentric, that's from the point of view of the Earth, motion, geocentric motion on these planets tend to go 2 steps forward, 1 step back. So Jupiter went into Aquarius back in late last year, and it usually roughly stays on a sign for about 11 months or so, but often whipsaws back and forth as it gradually moves forward. So we'll probably sometime later this year probably stop. There you go. Have a station point and then retrograde back into Aquarius. But for the short term here, Jupiter's going into Pisces, and you might be interested in that because Pisces is the sign of the big water. You know, the fish swim in the ocean, and that's Pisces. That's the sign of the fish. And so that's the big liquid. What commodity is a big liquid, Larry? Can you guess?
Soybean oil and crude oil.
There you go. See? And so we might get that Jupiter is the planet of expansion. So you might get an increase in those areas. And also water, I think we might get maybe an increase in the rain. You know, we might get some more rain. And as they used to say back there at the old Chicago Board of Trade building, rain makes grain, you know, so maybe we'll get a better little relief here from these high prices, at least for the new crop. You know, I can't do much about the old crop, right? Mm-hmm. When I was on the SIBO there, I was in the Board of Trade building, looked out the window on LaSalle Street there, see the rain coming down, look up the boards, and the prices of the grains were dropping. You know, it's just,
nothing like red lights. Yeah, that's for sure.
There you go. All right. So anyway, you got your commodity, your oil, and your stocks for a change in trend. And then at the weekend, we have another. We have the moon's north to Pluto, and again that's cocoa, coffee, hogs, silver, stocks, and T-bonds. And then we have another interesting Mercury. You know, Mercury's grains. Gonna have another Mercury point coming up at the end of the weekend of the 14th. Mercury maximum elongation. That's kind of has to do with the relationship between the Earth, the Sun, and Mercury. Is Mercury rising in the morning or setting in the evening? The kind of thing like Venus. You know, sometimes Venus is the morning star. Sometimes Venus is the evening star, and that has to do with where it is in terms of that three-way relationship, you know, the elongation. So Mercury will be at an extreme in that cycle, and then again, that's your corn, oats, soybeans, stocks, and wheat. And there we go. So, and then following that, the weekend, the 14th weekend, it gets pretty quiet for almost a week. That means if we get a trend rolling on Monday the 17th, that trend will probably be in force for most of next week. Okay. So here's the only charts I haven't covered. These are as of last night. So you can see cattle is rallying. So cattle is possibly setting up here for a possible top in the next day or two. Cotton is reverted to the middle here. So unless it gets going here in the next day or so, I'd probably take a pass on that. Obviously, copper has been just doing nothing but going up, up, up. It's scary, but this is setting up for a possible top here in the next, either today or in the next day or two. Right?
Okay.
All right. Any questions from the Tiger Den or anywhere else?
No, I think why don't you tell the folks how they can reach you, and then we will have you again when we have something else lunar coming up in another 12 days or so.
All right. I'm going to guess that maybe you let me come on Friday, starting Friday, Friday, that weekend looks pretty interesting. So got some huge stuff coming up.
The 28th? The 28th?
No, the 21st.
21st. Okay, I'll put you down for that. How's that?
That's great. Thanks a lot.
Well, first, wait, I got to cancel Janet Yellen, but I think I can cancel her. Right. Okay, so we're going to be all right.
She and I are friends, you know.
I know you are. So go ahead, my friend.
There you go.
Tell the folks how they can reach you.
I got free classes. I got about 50 years of experience doing this, and so I got a little bit of experience. I'm a former Chicago floor trader, so I've been doing this a while. You can get a hold of me here. I'm in sunny Naples, Florida. There's my phone, 239-594-3939. There's my email, Winski@mbark with a Q in the middle, MAIL.com. And you can call me from all over the world for free, Winski_1 on Skype. Looking forward to hearing from some of your folks, Larry, and hoping to help some folks.
All right. We'll be happy to have you on again soon, Nora. So thank you for joining us, my friend, and be safe over there, okay?
All right. Thanks a lot. You too. Take care.
You bet. All right. Oh, by the way, folks, I'm going to be setting in for Tom O'Brien if you want to hear a repeat of this show. which will be from 3 till 4 p.m. today, New York time. And I'll be sitting in for Tom doing his usual gig, which is sort of like trying to sit in for Johnny Carson. A total impossibility, but I'll do my best. All right, we're going to take a little break here, and then I want to talk to you a little bit about something that's happened that is very, very important because it's happened 2 years in a row. And I'll be right back. Just stick with it, okay? So let it ride, and we'll be back.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. For free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
Markets can rise and fall like the tides. Subscribe to Basil Chapman's newsletter, The Opening Call, and you too can ride the wave. Basil Chapman is an authority in technical analysis. His Chapman Wave trading system has been helping traders identify trends and capitalize on momentum in the markets since 1984. TFNN invites you to test Basil's proprietary Chapman Wave trading methodology with a monthly subscription to the Opening Call newsletter for only $149. Your subscription to the Opening Call comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee, as well as daily market updates on key indexes, stocks, and commodities. Ride the wave. Sign up for the Opening Call risk-free today.
Introducing Primal Edge.
Today, it's even more important to take a supplement that complements your health. Primal Edge is specifically formulated to boost your immune system and help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Our early ancestors found all their nutritional requirements in the wild environment. But today, our food sources don't contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients that we need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based, vitamins, minerals, fatty and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated humic and fulvic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They've been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, without them, life cannot exist.
That's right, Ellen. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge. Just $89 exclusively at TFNN.com.
Hi, folks. This is Steve Rhodes. Stay tuned for another great hour of the Trader's Edge, heard here at TFNN.com.
Okay, folks, I'm going to post a chart of silver here because you can see it took out the high of the previous day by just about 10 cents and then is now trading 50 cents lower. We took out the high in gold by about $1. It's now a couple bucks lower. It's about unchanged, more or less. But let's get to the main thing, folks. Something happened over the weekend that last year, a horse called National Security, a horse out of Florida that I love very much, won the Kentucky Derby, but he was disqualified, even though he went wire to wire. From the time he left the gate till the time he crossed the wire, he was ahead, but evidently they said he moved in front of some horses, which was skeptical. But what's happened over the weekend now is Bob Baffert has been charged with doctoring the horse with drugs, and I do not believe in my soul that he would do that because of the risk is so great. Now, he's had a lot of infractions for drugs, but the drugs that he uses are usually for making the horses, taking care of pain. But this one here was an enhancement drug, and I believe that somebody who didn't like Mr. Baffert put a little into the horse's oats or whatever it was, and now when they went to test the horse 8 days, or the test comes back 8 days later, which seems ridiculous. 8 days later, they might disqualify him. Folks, if you bet on that horse and you got your money, keep it, because they can't take it from you. But the horse that finished second, you're not going to get anything for him because they do not pay. It's all based on the payment that day. When that says official, it's official. And that's why the track takes 16.2% of all the betting action, and that's why you've got to be very good at handicapping horses. And something I've been working on my whole life. Get lucky once in a while, but that you do not get your money back. That's the way it is. But something to follow, because that, if it's true and that horse has been drugged, this is going to hurt. This is going to put horse racing back 3 or 4 years, if not longer. Because believe me, this is something they cherish, that as being honest in that business. And if you're not, they get pretty angry. Pretty much like the same way we have here. You know, if you get somebody in there that is not a straight shooter, that's tough. We'll see you all at 1 o'clock, at 12 o'clock today, or 3 o'clock today. We'll see you tomorrow with David Paul as my guest. May God bless.